Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles, compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles, go take care of your business. Success Chronicles, it's deeper than just winning. Success.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. Truly excited about this one to have Pastor Derrick Thompson with us. Great man of faith.
Appreciate it.
Great man that's doing lots of stuff to make a positive difference in the life of many. And this has been on the books for a while, so I'm glad. I'm glad we're able to get in and get it. So first, I just want to say thanks for taking the time to hang out and interview with me.
No, man, I appreciate the opportunity. Anything I can do for you, man. You've been a blessing to me, and so, I want to make sure I'm there for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's dive into it, if you don't mind, sharing with the audience, your story, so they have an idea of who you are and what it is you do.
Man, you talk about sharing your story. I think anytime I teach, I tell people, I humble beginnings. You know how it is, and came from a hard-working blue-collar family. And dad military, mom worked for a bit, but mom at age 4 or 5, mom ended up having a disability, and so she was in a wheelchair for the rest of her life, and so I grew up pretty quick, real quick, and
Had
so.
to.
Life circumstances, but nothing I couldn't overcome, and times were tough. It's funny though, I was thinking about this, because I knew I'd be doing this. There was a time there, I think up until the age of 10, I didn't realize we were poor.
Right.
You don't know, you don't know what you don't have when you,
that's it,
when you don't know. And so it wasn't until the teenage years I started realizing we didn't have a lot of things that a lot of other families had. One thing we always had, though, man, was love, and I appreciate my parents, my grandmother, making sure that we always had that. But through the Lord's faithfulness, was able to work hard and through diligence overcome some of those early challenges in life. And the Lord's been faithful. I've been able to have opportunities presented my way in the corporate world, been able to work hard and get opportunity after opportunity, been able to work hard in ministry and doors have opened. And so, I would say, my story is not unlike a lot of other people. You have a tough start, but through God's faithfulness and hard work, the Lord has opened doors and blessed me to where I'm at today.
So good. It's good stuff. Well, what are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Proud. Man, I don't know if I'd say proud. I'd say, 3 things that I'm just honored, that the Lord would allow me to do those things. I think the first thing that sticks out was just being able to provide a strong spiritual foundation and spiritual legacy for my family. I think a lot of us can look at our families as a whole and identify the fact that some of our families might be going in directions maybe that we don't want to go in, and I'm talking just that rough stuff, and so I made a decision that I was going to do things different and try to change the course for my family for generations to come. And so really was very purposeful in implementing Scripture, implementing God as the foundation of our family life, and basing everything around that and off of that. And it's really helped to keep my kids grounded, and it's really helped to keep our marriage grounded. And I think that would lead me to the second thing is 27 years of marriage, man.
That's awesome.
In a time where a lot of people are walking away from marriage, where people don't value marriage, where
awesome.
If this isn't working for me, I'm going to go find another one. 27 years. Was it all easy? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I think the thing for us, man, is we made a decision. We said, there's no escape clause. My wife looked at me one day. She said, "There's only one way out." She said, "That's through death." I was scared there for a moment, but I got what she meant. She was like, I'm all in, and through the good and bad, I'm going to be here. And to be honest, I had to make that decision as well, that, you know what, I'm in it for life as well. And, we've had some tough seasons that were a result of mistakes made by me, tough seasons that were out of our control. But in that, I think that decision to stay is what held us, what grounded us, what helped us to get through that season of life and move to where we are today. And I think, talking about the things that I'm proud of, I think the third thing would be being able to sense the promptings of the Lord.
Come on.
I think, man, in one of the worst seasons of our life, we had been married for a few years, and we lost everything financially. The dreams and the things I had in my heart were ripped away, and we found ourselves upside down, basically. And in that season, in that darkest season, I really sensed the Lord saying Houston was where we needed to be. And it was a scary time in our life, because think about it, man. San Antonio, the cost of living in San Antonio is a lot less than here in Houston. But I can tell you, being obedient to the Lord's voice and taking that step of faith, the Lord met us every step of the way, and He's provided for us financially, provided a church home for us, provided friends, and just a new life. And I think the next time I experienced that was in my transition from the corporate world into ministry. I was at a place in my career where really it was on cruise control. Everything was operating great, a lot of favor with employees, employers, customers. Everything was just great, man. I loved loving life, and I sensed the Lord saying, "It's time. Now's the time." And again, had to be obedient to step out in faith, and in that obedience, I took a step of faith, and the Lord did a couple of things. The Lord allowed me a season where I was able to actually reconnect with my family. I don't know about you, I can't speak for you, but for me, for 20 years, I was grinding in the corporate world thinking I was doing it for my family, but I wasn't. I was grinding because I wanted to make a name for myself. I was grinding because I wanted to show people that a poor boy from San Antonio could make it in this world. I was grinding for Derrick. But in my mind, or what I would tell people, is I was doing it for my family, and I didn't realize that I put my career before I put my wife. I put my career before I put my children. And through the faithfulness of God, by following His promptings, I had a year to reconnect, rebuild, and really deepen my relationship with my wife and my kids. And that all came from me being obedient to the Lord leading me into this new season. And He provided for our needs financially through some provision that was made available as I left the company. And this is how faithful God is, man. The day that provision ended was the day I started working in ministry. So God had it all planned out. All I had to do was be obedient, man. And so I think just those things, man, excite me when I stop and really think through the things I'm most proud of in my life.
So good. I love that. I love how you talked about that journey and being obedient, and sometimes, like the word proud, like you kind of, it has a negative connotation to some. Because it's not a pride thing. It's more of a, man, what are you grateful for?
Absolutely.
Right. And so I love how you depicted that and gave those stories, because that's all true stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think I lean more towards the grateful side, because, for me, when I think about being proud of something, I think about when I was a young kid and playing sports. You get that trophy, man, you're proud. You won a tournament, you're proud. You put that on your shelf, and then it don't mean anything anymore. Right. You go to that track meet, you get those medals, and a few years passes by, and you're looking for something, and one of those medals falls out of a box, But for me, when you're grateful, that's something that just stays with you, man. It's etched in there.
It's different. It's different.
You know where you were, what it took. You know how faithful God was. It stayed with me forever, and that's why I use grateful more so than proud.
I love it. Well, just hearing you talk about your journey and the things that you're grateful for, I would consider that to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success.
Okay.
What is your definition of success?
So my definition is probably going to be a lot different than a lot of people's, because everything for me starts and ends with God, and so one of the things my mentor, Pastor Alan Clayton, he said something a long time ago, and it really helped redefine success for me. He uses the term honor God, and so I think about that, and now kind of what drives me is everything that I'm doing honoring to the Lord, honoring to the one who has given me this opportunity, honoring to the one who has opened all of these doors, who's provided for me. And so I look at everything that I do, and that's kind of the measuring stick. Is this honoring to God? Was my speech honoring to God? Was my preparation time honoring to God? Was did I do this in excellence? Is that honoring unto God? And then I have to remember, we're talking success here, why I'm here. There was a time in my life it was about Derrick. When I played sports, when I was in the business world, it was about Derrick. Yeah. But at some point in time, I realized that we're all here for people. That's why we're here. Whether you're a teacher, a coach, a pastor, an officer of the law, we're all here for people. And so while I'm honoring God, am I being a blessing to people? I think about interactions with people like fingerprints. When I walk away from someone, have they been comforted? Have they been helped? Have they been encouraged? Are they more hopeful? When I walk away and encounter with someone, I want to leave a positive imprint on them to where I'm blessing them in some way, form, or fashion. And so I want to honor God, I want to bless people, and then I want to have fun doing it. I realized a long time ago, God didn't call me to be another Chip Baker. God didn't call me to be another Alan Clayton. He didn't call me to be anybody else but me. And so I have to embrace the gifts, the strengths, the skills He's given me, and lean into that and go all in with it. And I don't have that pretty smile that Chip Baker does, that $1 million smile. But what I do have is I have this strong belief that nothing's impossible with God, that all things are subject to change, that our best days are ahead of us. And so that drives me. And so I go all in with that. And I think that really helps me when it comes to wanting to honor God and bless people, because that drive is something that I've always had. And so as I've embraced it and leaned into it more, I think that's what the people that I engage with, that's what I think stands out to them is when they want to throw in the towel, I'm not going to let them throw in the towel.
Yeah.
When they want to give up, I'm not going to let them give up. We're going to do this together. And man, I love life. I love the Lord. I love people, and I just love this time of life that I'm in.
Yes. There's this pastor I know. I've heard him say this a few times, and what he said was, life change happens in the application.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
And I don't know, you might know that guy.
I think I might know him, yes. Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, one of the things that has always bothered me, whether it's ministry or business or school or sports, is we got a lot of people that talk the talk. They know exactly what to say. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, there's going to be no improvement. You're not going to get better. You're not going to win if you don't change, if you don't apply the things that you're learning. You think about it. We have athletes who want to be the best. But are they, as someone else I know, are they willing to put in the reps? Are they willing to apply the things, the basic skills, the small adjustments? Are they willing to put those into practice so they can become the best? That businessman who wants to be that CEO, well, is he willing to do the research, to put in the hard work, to put in the hours to achieve that goal? That minister who wants to be able to speak to the masses, is he willing to study to show himself approved so that in the right season, God can give him that platform. And so my whole thing is life change happens in that application. If you don't like where you are today, then as you're learning, begin to apply that and make those small incremental changes so that you can get to where you're wanting to get to.
I love that. I always love that you talk about that too, because I believe it's so true. You have to apply what you learn or you're wasting your time.
Absolutely.
Right, and our time is valuable. Our time is limited.
Absolutely.
So it's important to have that awareness to where you value those opportunities that you're blessed to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and man, it saddens me, and you may know, I think through a lot of leaders and people that I've had in my life, people with so much potential. Mm-hmm. So much potential. Yeah. And, I grew up, I wasn't a reader. I didn't like to read, man. But I knew all these people who got all this knowledge. They'd go to every training or every conference. Mm-hmm. They'd read all these books. But they were still in the hood. They nothing changed. They were just accumulating all this information, but they weren't applying it to their life. And it hurt my heart. And so, my thing here now is to help people understand that, hey, you can achieve the same things. You can do better. You can do more. Just begin applying the things you're learning. Yeah. And you'll see the fruit of what you're striving for.
So good. What I want to do now is just kind of go off script a little bit here with you.
Okay.
I want to throw some words or phrases at you, and you just talk to me about what comes to mind or to heart.
Okay.
When you hear these words or phrases.
All right.
The first phrase is servant leader.
Servant leader.
Yeah, I'm throwing you a good pitch right here to hit this home run.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I think servant leadership is, I think for years early on in my life, leadership was about me telling everybody what to do. But what I found is leadership, being a servant leader, it's about the people, man. It's about serving others, helping others be the best versions of themselves, and by helping them be the best versions of themselves or helping them to succeed, you're leading. Like it doesn't have to be about Derrick. I don't need the credit. The spotlight doesn't need to be on me. Mm-hmm. If I can give you the tools to succeed in what you're called to do, I win.
Yeah.
If people see Chip Baker, if people see anyone else that God has put into my life to help in any way, and they succeed, I succeed.
Yeah, we all win.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Absolutely. But I think there's this mindset in the world that we're in competition, right. And we're not. We all have our separate race. And so when you talk about servant leadership, for me, it's how can I help you win? How can I serve you to help you succeed in whatever it is that God's called you to do?
Okay. All right. The next word I'm going to give you is mentorship.
Okay. Mentorship. For me, it's being willing to stop and help other people grow and tap into their full potential and become the best versions of themselves.
Yes.
I've had many people in my life who stopped, who didn't have to stop, and who called me up to another level. They saw the potential in me. They challenged me. They sharpened me. The scripture says iron sharpens iron.
Sharpens iron.
And one man influences and encourages another. What I found is there were people that God put into my path that helped me in business, helped me in ministry, and they called me up to that next level. And so I just want to do the same thing for other people. I want to help them to be the best husbands, the best wives. I want to help them to be the best leaders, the best ministers, the best businessmen, because I believe that's how we change the world. Mm-hmm. I think we got a lot of people that want to get on platforms and criticize one another. But I think if we take the time to pour into other people, that's how we change the world.
All right. So the last word I'm going to give you, I'm going to pause a little bit before I give you this one.
Okay.
And then I'm going to warn you and tell you, hey, this is the good one right here. Hey, it's the good one right
Yeah.
here. The last word I want to give you is legacy.
Yes, legacy. Okay, legacy. I think back about where I started, and where I started was, it's really sad. I think about as a young man how in this life all I wanted to do was achieve. I wanted to have a nice ride.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a beautiful wife, which I do. I wanted to have tons of money and do whatever I wanted. And I think about it now and think about how shallow that was. And so when I hear the word legacy, when I leave this earth, I want to leave the people that were in my life. I want to know that I want to, when I'm gone, I want them to know that when they cross my path, I left an impact on them that helped them to better their life in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I talked earlier about those fingerprints. I want people to be able to look back and say, you know what? My faith is stronger because I crossed paths with Derrick. My relationship with my wife is stronger because I crossed paths with Derrick. You know what? My relationship with God is on fire because I was able to have a relationship with Derrick. I just, for me, a legacy where my interactions with you or anyone else is one that spurred you on to be the best version of yourself, to go all in with God, and to do better in this world and to the people in your life or anyone else's life. I think legacy can be so many different things, financial or whatever. But for me, it's hopefully people have the opportunity to become better versions of themselves because we've crossed paths.
So good. The reason why I chose those three words is because, when I think of you, those are the words that I think of, right? I think of a servant leader.
Yeah.
I think you go above and beyond to serve those that are around you. I think of mentorship because I think you go above and beyond to develop and grow the people that you're blessed to be around, to really pour into them, to see the fruits of that. And what's funny is you described all of that in the interview. You talked about pouring into others and seeing others win. We win when we all win. And then the last one, legacy. For me, just seeing you apply and walk the walk, right? Yeah. Each moment of each day. Yeah. I believe that the big man is working through you to set you up for an amazing legacy.
Well, and here's the thing, man. You talk about seeing others win. I think I talked about when I'm young being selfish. If I'm honest, there's a little bit selfishness in where I'm at today because I want the ultimate prize. Yeah. I want to be able to stand before the one at the end of my days and he says, well done. Because there's no greater prize than that.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's the driving force behind why I do everything that I do. I had a guy one time who said, in your job, I bet the most satisfying thing you get to do is to teach on your main stage. And I told him, absolutely not. No. So while I may enjoy that, that's not the thing I love the most. I said the thing I love the most is to sit in the back room with somebody else who no one else would talk to and to begin encouraging and pouring into that individual and then watching the hope and the joy and the faith begin to rise in that person and to see that person take off on a new path and just see their life change. Not because of me, but because I had the ability to point them back to God and to offer hope and to offer faith in God and His Word.
Yeah, being obedient and listening to His Word.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, as we close, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to just kind of share a little bit. We're here at the Ark. Just share a little bit about some of the things that we have going on here at the Ark, and so people can check it out and get piped in.
Yeah. I've been here at the Ark now for going on 10 years as far as working here, 20 years as a member, and here at the Ark Church, I love it. A lot of people, they get a little nervous when pastor says this, but he always says that we're come as you are church, and I love that. The thing that stuck out to me about this church when I first got here was the heart. Mm-hmm. And pastor says, he has this saying, he says, it's not the size of the church that matters, but the heart of the church. Mm-hmm. And I have never been around a group of people who we're so focused on being a blessing to the community, being a blessing to families, to single people, to anybody and everybody who might come. And so, here at the Ark, our heart is to help you grow in your walk with God. Our heart is to help you find the community of people that you can do life together with. And our heart is to help you become the best versions of yourself, how God intentionally planned it when you were born. And so I'd say come on out. We have groups, we have wonderful kids ministries and youth ministries, wonderful services, and we'd love for you to be a part of what we do here.
Awesome. Well, again, I just want to say thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. We've been trying to get this done for a minute.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being patient.
Yes, sir. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Go get it.